Hi, welcome back. Today we'll be talking about the next thing you need to do after you've gotten married to an American citizen. You'll have to fill out Form I-751, which is the petition to remove conditions on residence. And although it is relatively less emphasized than other forms to file for permanent residence, its importance can't be ignored as a bridge to obtain a complete green card and potentially a US citizenship later. We've made this video to help you figure out what you can do if your situation matches one of the situations we describe next. A conditional green card holder is required to file Form I-751 before her green card expires. A conditional green card is issued to a foreigner who has been married to a US citizen or a permanent resident for less than 2 years and an entrepreneur or investor. A foreigner who is alone due to legitimate reasons such as a divorce and death of their spouse is also allowed to file Form I-751. Generally, the so-called 90-day rule applies to joint filing of a married couple. In other words, you must file Form I-751 during the 90-day period before your conditional residence expires. Note that USCIS will reject your application if you file too early, more than 90 days before the end of your conditional residence. But the 90-day rule is not imposed when you file Form I-751 without your spouse if they passed away, you are divorced, or you and/or your conditional resident child were battered or subjected to extreme cruelty. USCIS also provides a tool to calculate your filing date that you can find in the description. USCIS provides an instruction and a list of supporting documents, but since it is not exhaustive, you may feel confused as to what to submit. To summarize, basically a copy of your permanent resident card or alien registration card, both front and back sides of the card. If you are filing jointly,
you'll need to present evidence of the relationship with your spouse, including, but not limited to, all joint tax returns with W-2s and 1099s since marriage, joint bank statements spanning from the date of marriage to the present, joint credit card statements from the date of marriage to the present with beneficiary's transaction history, joint automobile purchase, lease, financing, and/or registration documents, joint insurance policy confirmation, joint property deed purchase agreements and/or mortgage documents if own a property, a list of memorable events since marriage, greeting cards from friends, affidavit to one family member and one friend as witness, birth certificate of your children, if any. The list can go on as long as you have enough evidence to prove your legitimate relationship.
if you are filing individually, a list of documents will be longer and look different depending on your situation. For example, if your marriage has been terminated, you need to present a copy of the final divorce decree or other documents terminating or annulling the marriage with your petition, with evidence of the qualifying relationship. If you and/or your conditional resident child were battered or subjected to extreme cruelty,
if you and/or your conditional resident child were battered or subjected to extreme cruelty, you'll need to present evidence of the abuse, such as copies of reports or official records issued by police, courts, medical personnel, school officials, clergy, social workers, and other social service agency personnel. Any legal documents relating to an order of protection against the abuser or relating to any legal steps you may have taken to end the abuse. Evidence that you sought safe haven in a shelter for the abused or similar refuge, as well as photographs evidencing your injuries and a copy of your divorce decree if your marriage was terminated by divorce on grounds of physical abuse or extreme cruelty.
if the termination of your status and removal would result in extreme hardship,
if the termination of your status and removal would result in extreme hardship, you'll need to provide evidence that your removal would result in hardship significantly greater than the hardship encountered by other foreign nationals who are removed from this country after extended stays,
A child filing separately from their parent needs to provide a full explanation as to why they are filing separately, along with copies of any supporting documentation. If you don't file Form I-751 within a time frame, your 2-year green card will no longer be used and it may have you go through the removal process. In other words, you may be asked to leave the US. Make sure your application time window isn't closed yet before it's too late. Also, don't forget to download the Lawfully Case Tracker app and track your I-751 application in real time. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video so your newlywed friends also know what form to file after getting married. See ya!